Alright, we should be live. Whoopsies, sorry. I'm like a minute late today. I was just distracted eating my dino nuggies. And reading chat that I did not realize it was already 5. What's up, everybody? Happy Wednesday. I'm trying not to talk with my mouth full, so I'm gonna have to finish chewing. But first in the house today is Stang 2007. How's the NAS planning going? Are you going DIY? So I think I'm gonna go DIY. I did get the drives. Actually, I'll show them later on in the stream. They are sitting back there though. I got the drives, which is, I would say, the most important part. Because everything else is just computer parts, which are not as difficult to obtain and are relatively cheap. For a sorry, for a storage server, the drives make up the bulk of the cost. What up, Luke M. Silver? What up, Steve Olivar? Hello, hello, Techie Tech. What up, Craig Lilly? What up, KL130? Stang07 says new Battle Mage GPU rumor. Oh, I did not hear this. Let me bring this up. New Battle Mage GPU rumor. Let me pull up a tab and we can take a look at that today. At least I did not hear of any rumors within the last week since last stream. I think there have been rumors before that, but you said new Battle Mage GPU rumor as if it was recent, so we will check that out. Dang, a week goes by so fast. It's already stream day. Yeah, I think the weeks have been going by really quick. We've been really busy, Melissa and I. So yeah, each week has been going by really fast. And like, I'm trying to, every week that passes, and like last week I didn't put a video out. But now this week, we're already halfway through the week. And I'm working on a video to get out this weekend. But like, my goodness, I'm always racing against the clock. What up, Pika Wubs? What up, Extreme Zone? Hello, hello. Coalition Gaming in the house. Chris, who actually went to Jay's 2 cents SoCal Tech Fair. See if I can bring up some of that footage on the stream as well. What up, Soldroid? Sold my 3-year-old 3060 Ti for about $200 US the other day. Where'd you sell it? Just locally? $200 for a 3060 Ti in the current state of the market is really good. That is a really good price. Whoever bought that from you got a deal. I would gladly buy a 3060 Ti like any day of the week from here on out for $200. That is a great price. What up, Arbiters? Is 90C core and 100C hotspot too hot for a 3060 Ti? And Coalition Gaming Chris says, too hot? No. A little on the hot side? Yeah. So, I mean, that's within manufacturer spec. But there are people who definitely are running that same GPU cooler. But it depends on, you know, how old your thermal paste is. The whatever specific model you have, your fan curve, etc. Lots of things. But one of the quickest things you could do to check to see if there's any other issues if you have high temps is to repaste. You just repaste, get some fresh thermal paste in there, see if that does anything. If not, then you might have something else going on. It's not ideal, but I would say considering something too hot would be going like to the point where you are thermal throttling, or you're having like stability issues or something like that. But what up, Robert? Fix it. XX Broku XX. The graphics card market sucks more than a lot lizard at your local truck stop. A lot lizard? Oh, I'm guessing that's a... I've never heard that term, lot lizard. Let me see if that's even a real thing. Yep, okay. It is exactly what I thought it was, and it is a term. That is not a term I've ever heard. What up, Ronald? Yo, HDZ77. Al Factors 770. What? 770? You just messaged 770? I don't understand. What up, Misty Hill? From Ireland? What time is it in Ireland right now? It is 1 a.m. What are you doing up? Hopefully, well, if I have a boring stream, it will help you go to sleep. But if I have an interesting and exciting stream, it might keep you up and away from your responsibilities. What up, Nathan Tasker Force? It's good to be back celebrating 51st birthday. Today's your birthday, Nathan? If so, happy 51st birthday. I mean, you hit your milestone for the big 5-0 last year, but 51st. Congrats on another year of living. Hopefully in as good of health as you can control. And happy birthday, man. And thanks for joining us for your birthday. And glad to have you. Techie Tech, member for 7 months. Oh, snaps. Thank you for the channel membership. Renewals, Techie Tech. Yes, Chris, it always feels so fast when it comes to content creation. You can never pump out videos fast enough, especially in today's YouTube algorithm where they want you to just post every single day as much as you can. What up, Rob? Yo, yo, yo. Extreme Zone says 3060 Ti I sold was artifacting a casing on the desktop and I didn't replace it, so felt. Oh, okay. So it had some problems, but still, for $200, I would be interested to have checked it out to see what could be done to eliminate the artifacting. But yeah, if it's straight up board level components failing, like resistors and capacitors and stuff like that, then yeah, the cost it takes, or how much it costs to repair that kind of stuff, usually is not worth it. So if you have to live with the artifacting, then I can see the $200 price point. I see. XX Broku XX, my goodness. Broku, I love your name. It's funny because it could be bro, like, you know, like what up bro, but also broke, like having no money, but it's a play on words with Goku, so I like that a lot. I scored a retail 9070 XT at Micro Center. Now what I do with my 6950 XT, you hold on to it as a backup, because if the GPU market right now, the 6950 XT, how much are those even going for? Let me see. eBay, let's look at 6950 XTs. I feel like these are going for it, like $500 if I had to guess off the top of my head. I haven't looked at these recently in the used market, but parts only. Okay, so the first non-broken one, parts only. So the first non-broken one is, yeah, $520 plus 15 delivery. If you wanted to buy it now, I'm sure you could get it for cheaper if you're trying to play that bidding game, but I don't do bidding on eBay. Like, it's just not, the price you see at bidding, unless it's the last second, is usually not what you're gonna pay. And I don't like, but this one is sold, I mean, this is a pretty reasonable price, even though this seller has no rep. I would say this looks like a legit listing, but other than that, the next ones are like $550. And I don't foresee, like, I don't know if right now is considered tariffs in full swing versus in a few months from now versus closer to the end of the year. But I feel like if you hold on to a card like this, the rate of depreciation for at least the next year is going to be pretty minimal. So if you are planning on building a PC or a secondary PC or a PC for a friend or family member, it's best to keep something like this and use it so that you don't have to pay more money. Because if you sell this for like $550 and you try to rebuy it and then you have to pay for shipping and tax and stuff, and with the eBay fees in it, you know, I would say, yeah, keep it as a spare or use it for someone in your own life to help them out. But yeah, these things are still fetching for quite a bit despite being, you know, 2 gens old by now. What GPU for a Ryzen 5600G? Kind of hard to say right now. I would happily pair like a $200 to $300 graphics card with the 5600G. The only issue is, what does $200 to $300 even get you? That's about, just based on my recent pickups, like a 3070, 2080 Ti, 2080 Super, 3070 Ti maybe, 6700 XT. So any of the graphics cards like around $250 to $300 is, you could pair well with the 5600G. There's one last mukbang session, Salt. The last Dino Nugget. Not the last one. These are from the LAN party still that we had like almost a month ago. Of course, whenever the LAN party ends, I tell everybody to take as much food and drink as possible, but they don't. So I end up with like leftover Mountain Dew and like Dino Nuggies and stuff. And I'm just trying to finish through it so as to not waste food. Let me get that out of the way now. Oh my god, you guys. Chat is going way too fast. I gotta go quicker. Alright, yep, everybody knows that lot lizard is a real thing. See, we just call them like prostitutes or hookers here, but all those words are pretty dehumanizing though, so yeah, just keep that in mind. $250 for a 2070 Super good. That's a little on the high end. I would be looking for like a 2080 plain for a 250 about. Like not a 2080 Super, not a 2080 Ti, just a 2080 plain for 250. Yeah, other than that, like, it depends on your local market for sure. But 2070 Super performance levels. Let's see, GPU hierarchy. Let's see if this thing is gonna show. I think it should have the 2070 Super in it. And we'll look at 1440p performance. Oh no, wait, where's their older version? The updated version, they cut it off. Where is the old one? Tom's Hardware. Legacy. You want to go to the Legacy one. Wait, where's the chart at on the Legacy? What the heck, man? Where's the graph? Yo, Tom's, you had like this awesome thing going on, and then you just go and change it all up. Oh, here it is. Okay. So you look up, if you want to know like relative performance of graphics cards to each other, you can use Tech Power Up. I switch between like Tech Power Up and Tom's Hardware all the time. I like Tom's because you could see it on like a 2-axis graph instead of just a 1-axis one from Tech Power Up. But if we take a look at, and we'll just assume 1440p because that pushes the VRAM more and it pushes the graphics card more in general. 2070 Super, right? That comes in, so it's above a 6650 XT, but it's below a 6700 XT, 6700. It is above the 3060, but below the 3060 Ti. See, I would expect you can get a 3060 Ti, and it's going to be a newer card, right? 1 gen newer and better performance for close to 250. And then a 6700, probably closer to 250, because the 6700 XTs are now going for 300. So yeah, I would say, unless you could talk that 2070 Super down, I mean, 2070 Super, yeah, if you could talk it down to like closer to 200, I would say like 200. I'm not sure how much more that is for a used card that old. I wouldn't pay, maybe 225 max, but oh, that's what you meant. I think the 770 was meant to be the rumored B770. Okay, yeah, we will take a look at that. 2 months before I hit 65, get back to me when you hit it. If you're here in 2 months, Jim, let us know. I'll give you a birthday shout out for sure, for sure. B770 rumor. Okay, we're gonna pull that up. We're gonna be mostly trying to deal hunt, look at pricing and all that stuff in the budget segment for this stream. Mainly because I'm in the market for a graphics card, a white graphics card too, which makes it even harder. And we're gonna take a look at how bad prices have gotten, and then how bad prices and availability have gotten specifically for white graphics cards. But let me see. What up, Death Tech Ryan, aka Death of Tech? Apparently, I don't know why your YouTube name is different than you know, your other handles. But what up, Ryan? Hello, hello, hello. All right, let me get caught up. What's up, big country? What up? What up? What up? Nobody should be buying a 8 GB card for more than 200. I'm a little bit more lenient on this. Brand new, I'd say on a brand new release graphics card, I'm personally okay with 250, 8 GB, just because the market just is not looking that good, and anything that's over 8 GB, you're not gonna get for 250. It's gonna be over 300 bucks, right? So you have to adjust accordingly based on what is available and the times that we are in now. Ideally, yeah, we want our graphics cards as cheap as possible and with as much VRAM and performance capability as possible. But if you're talking about like a brand new release card, like the upcoming 5060, for example, 8 GB, we would all love that to be a $200 card. But there's living in dream world, like Kirby, Dreamland, or living in reality, which is just, there's no way they're going to be selling a new brand new release card, even despite being 8 GB for 200. I would be happy with 250, because it's still, you got to ask yourself, what other card can you get for 250 that has more than 8 GB of VRAM that is like within one generation? We're not talking about looking for used cards of 2 gens old and stuff. Like, you have to compare more closer to apples to apples. This is not me being a simp or a show for any of the companies. This is just me being realistic. And for $250, 8 GB, brand new, like 5060 or what is it, the 9060 or 9060 XT, you could still build a decent budget system for like under 800 bucks, right? You gotta look at the overall picture. Like, what kind of system are these cards going into? They're going in systems much less than $1,000. Yeah. Oh, GTA 6. Yes, the trailer that just dropped. You know what sucks though? So they dropped trailer 2. I am likely going to be buying this day one, even if it's $100. But that could be over a year and a half away, because PC release of this is going to be... I'm going to mute this because I don't want to get copyright struck. But yeah, it's going to be... I mean, we're probably the end of 2027, unless Rockstar changes everything up and is like, oh, we will release them concurrently, right? PC and console. But I couldn't tell. So this is the trailer, but I don't know if I could imagine the in-game actual graphics being close to this. I mean, we are talking about, you know, a 2026, 2027 release game. Graphics at least at ultra with max ray tracing, path tracing, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, have you seen like Cyberpunk or Skyrim and stuff with mods? You can make it look like this, so it wouldn't surprise me if Rockstar of all companies, the game looks pretty close to this in actual gameplay. PS5 at 30 FPS. I don't think I will get it for console at all. Is that what they said? I'm excited to go back to Vice City. This makes me want to play the original Vice City again, which I played so much of when I was in middle school. Which, if you think about it, why was I playing this in middle? Why was I playing Grand Theft Auto 3 and Vice City in middle school at like age 12, 11 and 12 or whatever? And then San Andreas in high school. I think that came out sophomore or freshman year for me. Like a game about drugs, prostitutes, stealing cars, murdering. My mom didn't know what she was buying me at that time. It says at the end of the trailer the footage is from the PS5, but it's different. There's a difference in gameplay versus trailer footage or cutscene footage, right? Cutscene and trailer footage is always going to be better. But again, I think I could imagine this being, or I could see this being gameplay footage. I have a feeling this game will be extremely woke and like agenda filled because like that's just what are you even talking about, Mark? What woke agenda are you oh, is it because they put a person of color woman in it? Come on, get real. Have you seen Rockstar's entire history of making games? They poke fun at everybody. This isn't about like the woke agenda. You feeling that way, I feel like you already have like some preconceived thoughts and notions about just like the world around you. If that's what your first thought is from watching this. Woke in GTA, have you played any GTA before in your life? Exactly. Like, if even Grand Theft Auto 5, Grand Theft Auto, I didn't really play 4. Just because at that time I was just playing like MMOs only. So I kind of skipped 4. I should go back because they have the enhanced edition now. But yeah, GTA and Rockstar pokes fun at everybody. But I think if you're sensitive to your political beliefs or worldviews being like attacked and mocked, and that's all you see a game like Grand Theft Auto for, then I think you might be a little bit more sensitive than you believe others to be. I wouldn't be surprised if it looked this good. Look how, yeah, Red Dead Redemption 2 looks pretty good. I also need to play that one. I've only seen benchmarks and footage of gameplay and stuff, but I've never personally played it myself. Some parts cutscenes, some parts gameplay. Yeah, I mean, what is this? YouTube ads. But yeah, no, I'm excited. I'm just not excited for it being, on console a year away. 8 days till Doom the Dark Ages releases. Is that gonna be a full price game? Let me see. Pre-purchase. It is gonna be $70. I mean, Doom is a huge IP. It goes back, dates back to like, when did the first Doom come out? Over 30 years ago. You're right. You're not gonna be. Actually, I'm very curious. GTA 6 on an 8GB card. That would be a fun video to make. You'd be surprised how capable cards are, depending on how the developer optimizes it. But you'd be surprised how well games can run. Obviously, you have to adjust the settings and stuff. But even like, I often play with like 3GB, 4GB cards, and I play games that have been released within the last couple of years that are very, intensive and demanding. And you can make it work, and it actually looks pretty decent, given that, you're using a $50 graphics card. You just have to have your expectations checked. I'm actually, aside from just being excited for GTA 6, the game itself coming out and playing it, I'm very excited to test GTA 6 on like straight up decade-old hardware, 2 gig VRAM cards, 4 gig VRAM cards, stuff like that. Check out the chain link fence scene. Wait, chain link fence. Like that? Let me make it bigger. Well, it's kind of hard. Okay, so they released this video. Let me go up to 4K. But they released this video. I don't know if this is in 60 FPS. It's almost like they shot it in it almost looks like cinematic 24 FPS. I don't even know if this is 30. But are you talking about the chain link fences from this scene, or is there another chain link fence scene that I'm missing? It is in 30 FPS? Yeah, okay. Because usually YouTube marks it as 60 FPS if it is. But either way, very, very curious to see how the performance is going to like. Gamers don't like women leads for some reason. I mean, in like, you hear complaints about it in more than just games. Like movies with women lead characters or comedians. Like in general, if you go to any women comedian like YouTube video, the comments are going to be filled with a whole bunch of sexist, like hateful people. On social media, streamers, it's just in every like aspect of life, women are just treated like crap. And that's even in the US. Imagine in some of the other countries where women have like less rights and it's just way worse. So as long as the lead is good, I don't give a F. Yeah, I mean, I think it's gonna be fine. Think of the last time, honestly, that Rockstar released something that was just met with more negative reviews and just negativity in general, and has been received poorly. Aside from like their shark cards and stuff, people hate the fact that they're making bank on, you know, digital microtransactions. But like the core game itself, when was the last time Rockstar dropped a flop of a game? I can't think of one. If anything, GTA will make a satire of the woke agenda. Exactly. GTA makes satire of everything. All you gotta do is go on the talk radio of GTA 5 and you'll see. And all the missions and stuff too. I remember when gaming was about playing games instead of just complaining. Yeah, I feel like we're in an era of everyone wanting to voice their opinion, which is fine. You know, First Amendment rights, whatever. But there just seems to be an overwhelming amount of negativity, or at least an overwhelming amount of vocal minorities screaming the loudest about things. Bro, Franklin talks to a dog in GTA 5 for a mission and literally any interaction with Trevor. Lol, yeah. I don't think it will be woke, but I do think it will pull punches on the protected classes. I don't think so. Didn't they have a whole expansion called the... Yes, they did have an expansion called Ballad of Gay Tony. But, I mean, is that considered satire of the woke or just being woke? I never... Again, I didn't play 4, so I'm not sure. I had a friend that wouldn't play Spider-Man Miles Morales because there was a BLM imagery in it. We are no longer friends. That's, I mean, to not play a game just because of something like that, you want to talk about snowflakes. Yeah. If it was woke, they would make 2 gay main characters, not heterosexual romantic criminal story, lol. Yeah, exactly. But I don't know. We'll see. We will wait and see till it what's going to happen. And I'm sure it has happened even with like GTA 5 and stuff. Like, people are going to find the smallest little things to complain about. You can always look at the negatives and stuff and find something to critique. But, yeah, we'll see. We have another year to year and a half, at least for PC anyways. So, yeah. You can't be offended with video games and comedy. you would be surprised at how many people are offended by these things. You would be surprised. What up, Citrus? 34 months of membership. I appreciate you. What up, what up? Glad to see you. This game is going to require at least 12 gigabytes of VRAM or less. See, here's the thing about requirements. I've played plenty of games that required at least 8 gigs with a 4 gig graphics card. And actually, let me see. What is... Like, let's see. Warhammer Space Marine 2 Steam page. Like, I played this with the 4 gig RX 580. What is the VRAM requirement? Minimum. Oh, that's the memory. It says 6 gigs VRAM or RX 580. Interesting. Huh. Because I'm pretty sure I played this with less. What else? God of War Ragnarok Steam. So even though they say that's the minimum requirements, plenty of games will still run and run decently well on less specs than that. Yeah, so for God of War, I run this also on less than, or 4 gigabytes and less graphics card. But they're saying you need at least a 6 gigabyte 1060 or these 8 gigabyte cards. So yeah, it's gonna be fun to check out GTA 6. Lots of potential content to make from it. I'm sure at its base settings, and I think it will look not terrible. It'll be able to run on 6 gigabyte cards. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, the video that's coming up this weekend, actually, I tested games because it's a CPU benchmark testy compared video. And I was testing a bunch of games at the lowest preset settings that they had, you know, in the graphics menu. And I'm just like, I mean, yeah, I'm playing this on a $20 CPU and it's getting this performance and it looks like this. It actually doesn't look bad. Minimum graphics settings, obviously, you don't want to be running that if you've got a decent, you know, $1,000+ system, or if you're running like a 5080, a 5090. But if you're running on like a $200-300 machine, and to pump the FPS up, you gotta play on the minimal graphic settings, I don't think it looks bad. I need to see a blind study if people could actually see the difference in texture quality settings, like, yeah, I would say probably, I would say medium to high is noticeable. From high to very high to even like ultra without ray tracing and stuff, if you're focused on playing the game and not just like strolling and walking and just like looking at the environment, but like actually killing people and doing the missions, it becomes less noticeable. But it all depends on personal preferences, right? Some people just like to play games with the most beautiful graphics, and they have been doing that for years to come. So that's just something they're used to. And I think that's okay, but it just depends on how much money do you have to spend on hardware, and what are you trying to do? Are you trying to play a game, or are you trying to watch a game with some inputs, you know? I'm still gaming on my R9 390 1080p Momojes. Dude, that is a card that we do not hear of often. The R9, like 290, 290X, 390, 390X, that was a very like nostalgic period of graphics cards from AMD for me, because I personally had the 290X, which was about the same performance as the R9 390. But that's just a card that, for some reason, like, you don't hear about much. During that era, everybody had the equivalent NVIDIA counterparts way more than they had these AMD cards. So every time I hear someone bring it up, I like to give it some screen time, because yeah, I like this era of cards. They should only release game trailers like 3 months out to maintain interest and excitement for the game. Well, dude, Rockstar is like one of the companies that so far hasn't really fallen from the good graces of, you know, the community, except for their microtransaction shark cards. But yeah, Rockstar can do things the exact opposite of every other company in the industry, and it still works out. Yeah, I mean, honestly, GTA 5, the Enhanced Edition, which was the free upgrade that they gave to everybody recently for a PC anyways, that I think makes the game look better. I'm not going to say it looks as good as the newly released 2025 game, but the optimization and graphics overhaul that they did with that, you could play GTA 5 Enhanced Edition at minimal settings on really old hardware, and I think it still gives you a pretty pleasant playing experience. It's not like the game doesn't look like complete dog water, right? I would say, like, if you guys have ever played Hogwarts Legacy, the Harry Potter game that came out like 2 years ago, I don't know how much. I mean, I know like hardware and box and stuff still benchmarks it. I stopped benchmarking it. I hate it. But like a game like Hogwarts Legacy, when you turn it down to minimal settings, it literally looks like dog water, and it's fuzzy and it looks almost like polygonal and stuff like that. But a game like Grand Theft Auto 5, when you turn it down to the minimal graphic settings, it still looks good. GTA 6 in PC size, 300 gig. Yeah, we're gonna have to see how big that game is. I think, well, right now, what we looked, was it a month or two ago? I think Call of Duty or Call of Duty HQ or whatever stupid launcher that they have, I think Call of Duty takes it for like the biggest game in terms of storage size on a PC, right? I forgot if we found anything that was larger size than Call of Duty. Warzone is not 600 gigabytes. I thought it was like 250 the last time we saw. COD. Let me see. 175 there. COD install size. I thought Black Ops 6 will require 300. I don't have Black Ops 6. I'm done with Call of Duty. I'm so done with just that whole franchise. The final straw was when they changed up the menus and made it such a garbage experience. Trying to almost like copy Fortnite, where you gotta log in and then go through these menus to pick the game mode and then log in or load in again. It's just horrible. Peckish says, I don't care about how big the size is. I have 4 terabytes open and ready. You will care about the size once multiple games become like 300 plus terabytes or gigabytes rather, and you want to install multiple at a time. That 4 terabytes gets eaten up quick, because we know 4 terabytes isn't really 4 terabytes. 4 terabytes is let me see, 4 terabytes is realistically, well, it's like 3.7 usable. COD takes it, but it's modular. Yeah, this whole modular like hub thing that they try to do, I hate it. Such a garbage experience. Yes, please let me load into the game 2 times before I can actually get to the game, and then compile shaders almost every single week. Like, oh my goodness. Jim says, my 2 terabyte has about 300 gigabytes left. I'm thinking about 4 terabyte. I'm curious, Jim, what do you fill your drive space with? Are you like, do you record or photography, or is it just all games filling up your 2 terabytes? I could see that. My benchmarking drive for my test bench, that is 2 terabytes, and I put usually around like 10 to 15 games on it, but at that point it's pretty much filled to the brim. Because games are like, you know, a lot of the games I test are like around 100 to 150 gigabytes. So it fills up really quickly. But so I can imagine if you keep like 10 plus games installed at any given time, you would have your 2 TB filled up mostly. But I don't know, is that a thing that people often do? Or do you got, how many games at a given time do you guys have installed on your drives? I'm curious. Pretty much games. I have a separate streaming / editing rig. Okay, got it. Us broke people manage. Peck is, nope, I play 5 games ish. And I'm using under 500 gigabytes right now. Yeah, I mean, there a lot of games, when they're designed well and just aren't super bloated in terms of drive space usage. A lot of the AAA titles coming out are like still around like 70 to 80 or 90 gigabytes, still under 100. So it's just, man, some of them, like I think Forza is like 140 or 150 gigs. Like, why? Rayan Ahmed says, if I am building a budget PC and buying a used graphics card, should I be buying it last as you prefer to test it in person when buying? Well, if you're building your own budget PC, you can't, unless you're buying a system with integrated graphics and can install Windows and all that stuff beforehand, it doesn't really matter, right? Because if you have everything except for the graphics card, and let's say you got, because Ryzen is super popular, you got like a Ryzen AM4, and you're building a budget PC, right? So you're not getting like, you're likely not getting something with integrated graphics, I wouldn't think, unless you go like Intel or like a 5600G. But regardless, how can you pull up and test in person with the parts that you've gathered, minus the graphics card, unless you've already set up your system with like a Windows OS and all that stuff? You know what I'm saying? Unless the testing you're going to do is plugging it in to see if you can get into the BIOS. So I don't think that really matters unless you can borrow hardware from someone to set up your OS and your boot drive and things like that, if that makes sense. So the whole testing in person thing, I would say it's more necessary when you're buying more expensive hardware. I don't know what your budget is, but if you're buying like $100 to $150 graphics card, there's a much lower risk, I would say, of getting scammed or getting something that doesn't work, because most scammers, if you do your thorough due diligence and all of that, checking their seller history and meeting up, depending on where you meet up, doesn't really matter. But if they have some kind of seller history, they're likely not trying to compromise it over selling you like a $150 graphics card. Now, if it's a brand new account on Facebook Marketplace or OfferUp or whatever, eBay, then it could be a little bit more risky, but eBay has buyer protection. So kind of hard to give advice on that one. But I would say you don't necessarily have to buy the graphics card last. Plushy Fruit says, so should I get a B580 for $300 or a 4060 for $440? My goodness. And this is what I wanted to talk about today, because I am in the market for a white graphics card under $300. And a 4060, remember those white ones from Asus? Remember those ones? That would have fit the bill decently nice. Remember when these were going for like $330 any day of the week, not even a year ago? Remember that? Yeah. Look at this price. And you know what the thing is? So the title of the stream is the graphics card market sucks for budget PC gamers. And the thumbnail said, where did all the new graphics cards go? And this is what I'm talking about. And the used market isn't that much better. I know there's a white tax on things, but come on, $470 for a 4060. And most of the stuff, when you look on Amazon and Newegg right now for these budget cards that used to be around $300, they're not being sold and shipped by like Asus through Amazon and stuff. What you're gonna find is a lot of them are sold by like these resellers, third-party sellers. And I mean, yeah, I guess you could blame. Do you think this is really a result of tariffs, or this reseller being greedy, or is it a combination of the both? White ASRock Challenger. Yes, I did see that one, but that price. So I did see this one. I think it is actually being sold, but for $240, this thing was going for like $180, at least for a black one, like any day of the week, not too long ago. This is actually being sold by ASRock. I mean, what year did this come out again? This is like becoming almost a 4-year-old graphics card at its performance level. Paying $240 for something like this is kind of painful when the price was noticeably lower not even a year ago. And I know we have to adjust with the times right now, but like, my goodness. Arc B580 Onyx White? I don't know about that. That's what, like 300 something, 309 Onyx Lumi. The issue is though, this card is going to somebody. I've said this multiple times. This is actually in stock, but I've said this multiple times. This is going to a younger person too. That's like, I think 11 or 12 years oldish. I hesitate to put an Intel Arc card into a system for someone who is younger and not tech savvy to be able to troubleshoot, diagnose, and do stuff like that. If it was for like a full-grown adult, sure, they could figure out how to Google and do all that stuff, but for a middle schooler, I don't know. And 310, this is a good-looking card. This is a clean white card, but it's 60 over the non-realistic MSRP. Yeah, I would agree with you. Given the market that we've seen so far, it's funny because we saw all the 4000 series RTX cards and 7000 series AMD cards. All their pricing is whack right now. Like, we could look up the 7600, which I was considering, but if you look up 7600 prices right now, we'll go to Amazon first. They are this one's 330, which isn't as bad. I don't even think they had a white one, but yeah, all the prices have definitely seen at least a 10% increase, if not a little bit more. Should I sell my 4070 Super white card for a white 9070 non-XT? What is... I need to look up the... Oh, we'll go to Tech Power Up for this one. Non-XT, 4070 Super, or 4070 Super for 9070 non-XT. 4070 Super. So you're getting a 12% performance difference. How much? It depends on how much you can get the 9070 non-XT for, and how much you're selling the 4070 Super for. Can you make it an equivalent exchange and get some free uplift in performance? Or are you going to have to add money on top of it? Check out the Max Sun iCraft B580. I don't know if that's... Okay, it is available in the US. You said in Australia it's 301. It's not even in stock here. Wow, this is a good looking white card though. Yeah, this thing is clean. Yeah, I'm doing a white and pink build for is actually for the little sister of David, who I did the build for I don't know, a month or two ago ish. Yeah, this is a build for a friend of a friend's kid. So it's gonna be a white and pink build, and I wanted, or they wanted a white build, and I told them it's gonna cost a little more because of white tax, and they said or her dad said, yeah, sure, I'm willing to pay a little bit more, but I have to find the white card first. 10% is not upgrade worthy. I would agree with you. And again, let's look at this again, right? So yeah, it's about 10-ish%, and then you gotta deal with potentially paying more money on top of it, and then also losing the NVIDIA specific like DLSS, and I don't know, if you're a streamer or if you care about like NVENC stuff, then you know you lose those things. But and ray tracing too. I would imagine the 4070 Super would probably beat the 9070 in ray tracing. Okay. Thanks for the heads up, Rad Robot. But let me see. I hate the Zotac cards. I think you guys have heard me rant about Zotac before. Let me see if I can find it. The Zotac. Come on, where's it? Here it is. I put one of these cards in my best friend's computer. It's just, what was Zotac thinking? Making the shortest, chodiest card ever. Like, look at this thing. What? Like, unless you're putting this in a micro, not even a, I think in a micro ATX build, this could look a little weird too. But like, or like an ITX build, it would look fine. But you put this in any full-size case, and this card is like hilariously short. You know, most mid-sized towers have like too much room in the front of them because they assume people are gonna put radiators or like, I don't know what the heck. One of my biggest complaints about modern day cases is they have too much room front to back. Like, let me pull up an example PC case. I'm just gonna pull up any mid-tower PC case. Let's get one from a reputable brand, like NZXT H5, for example. If this thing is gonna pull up, hello. Actually, no, we're gonna look up a picture of the build. NZXT H5 PC build. And we're looking for a side shot. But like, you see how every shot is at an angle? It's because you're gonna see how much room is at the front if they gave an exact side profile. Here we go. Here's a good side profile shot, right? Now, oh my goodness, this is... Alright, let's just take a look at this picture though, right? Look at this. And this has fans populated in front. And this is with like, you know, a decently long graphics card. You have all this awkward space in front. Oh, also they give you all the awkward space in front because, you know, they assume you might put the AIO in the front. Or they want to accommodate for 360 millimeter AIOs at the top. Which, I mean, I get it. You want more flexibility. But then you have this awkward space just like in the front that I hate. Imagine throwing this Zotac card in here that comes up like to this right here, just like the width of the motherboard. It's just so weird. Plus, I think the Zotac card is ugly. I will never stop harping on how ugly specifically this generation of Zotac cards are. But you're saying that it's cheap? Let me see their store. You said it was $270 for a refurb. Let me see, graphics card, 30 series. Here's a refurb. Wait, where's the white one that you said? You said Zotac refurb white 3060 for $270. How come it's not showing up here? I'm looking at it and I see refurbished unit. Triple fan cards are much quieter too. Well, I'm not concerned about a 3060. Double fan 3060s are pretty quiet. It's a pretty, it does like the 3060 being a mid-ish range, or some people call it entry-level card. It doesn't have like huge power draw, and it doesn't get super hot. So a 3060 two fan is fine, but just not the way that Zotac designed it. I don't know. You put a link in the stream sub? Okay, yeah, let me take a look at that. Let me see. Oh, whoops. Let's see. Stream submissions. Zotac store. Here we go. Yeah, why is this giving me different stuff? Interesting. Yeah, 270. 270. What else do they have? Here's a 3080. Oof. For $590. I'm just going to take a look at what Zotac has. I mean, let's just take a look at a random 3-fan card too. Did anyone like the design of this by chance? I don't like... Fans are round. and then they try to put these like straight, you know, like a non-round, like a hexagon, and then I don't know. I feel like there's a way you could do it right to have these angles and stuff, but the way that Zotac did it, no. Like, it looks very odd. I just picked up a XFX 6600 for $100 on Facebook Marketplace. That's an amazing deal. Yeah, I mean, I think those cards are still easily worth up to like 150 to like 170-ish. So getting it for $100, crazy good deal. You don't, yeah, you're right. You don't see it from that angle. Let me try to find a different picture, because in the other angles, it's pretty ugly too. Like, let me see if I can find it. Like, come on, show me some other pictures, Zotac. Yeah, no, this thing, I know you don't see it from that angle, but from the other angles, it's still not the best looking. Like, what is the shape? I think my issue with it is this ending, how it goes down and then just this angle in. I don't know, man. It looks weird, and then you have this little part that protrudes out, which Zotac isn't the only graphics card manufacturer that has done this, but yeah, just to me, overall strange looking card. And I want to fill out the case more, because we are spending more money on it, and it's gonna be a white and pink build. It is gonna be, money is being put towards aesthetic by request of the customer. So I'm not gonna put money and spend more on something to put a graphics card like this in it, unfortunately. We'll say this for Zotac, they rarely make a boring looking card. I guess you could say that, yeah, they make them look interesting. Peckish says, ASRock Steel, yes, the Steel Legend, my goodness, of any card. It could be the 7600. I was trying to find this card, but my goodness, let's look at the prices of these. I mean, one, I'm not gonna get, again, I cannot get a B580 for this person, because it's going to someone who cannot troubleshoot. And Intel is, they still have random, like, their interface, upgrading the drivers is kind of wonky sometimes. In terms of game compatibility and stuff, I haven't run into any of that stuff, but with any new driver release, they could break stuff, so I just don't want to deal with that. Look, wow, 270. I would consider it more strongly at this price, but 7600 Steel Legend White, like, I wish I could get this for the build, but no way I'm paying $407 for a 7600, not even XT. 400 would still be expensive if this wasn't a 7600 XT card, but it's not. And look, again, like I was saying, I mean, I kind of understand, like, okay, AMD stopped manufacturing these cards, but there's such a wide gap between, and like, in terms of like inventory and stock and stuff, from when this thing is phasing out versus the next thing to replace it coming out. I feel like this time around, this is way worse than I've ever seen it in previous years. We don't count, not counting the pandemic, because during the pandemic, availability and pricing was just at, you know, that's like an outlier. But like in any other time that I can think of, there was much more overlap between last gen's cards and this gen's card, where you can buy both at the same time and the availability at the same time. But now we're still about they're supposed to come at the end of the month, or actually no, in like a couple of weeks. So supposedly, let me see if I can bring up that Tom's Hardware article. Okay, so 9060 XT listed by retailer in Brazil, 16 gigabyte, triple fan, whatever, right? But supposedly, they're thinking that they're gonna unveil this at Computex, which starts the week of May 20th, which again is only 2 weeks away. But until that time, like, we've had a pretty large window of like last gen's card being basically unavailable and scalped by third-party sellers until this thing comes out, and then we have no idea what the performance and price of this thing is going to be at. So it's kind of like the RX 6600. The RX 6600 of all cards is still available at somewhat reasonable prices. What sense does that make? Did they like overproduce during the pandemic? This actually isn't a horrible price. It's not ideal because we've seen it lower in the past. We've seen it like go for 180, 190, brand new, but given the climate we're in now, the fact that this card is still available, brand new for this price, and being sold by ASRock, but they don't have the newer version of this, they totally underproduced 7000 series. I think you just gotta take a trip to Australia when you want to buy tech. Buy it here, then go back. Well, the cost of the trip would offset the hardware immensely. I don't know if that makes sense. White spray can, yeah. So I have sprayed a card somewhat recently. Actually, I did that last year. I'm not a fan. I will spray paint a graphics card. I'm not a fan of doing it, and I'm more comfortable spraying something for myself than I am for a customer, because with spray painting, it's just really hard to get it to look natural. Like almost every spray painted card I've ever seen, you could tell it's spray painted. And if this customer is gonna pay a little bit more for an aesthetic PC, I don't want it to look like it was spray painted, if you know what I'm saying. Like, so if I would and the time it takes, especially if you want to do the prep work. Last time I didn't sand it, and it still took me a while because you gotta spray, let it dry, spray, let it dry, tape off stuff. Like, to do it with sanding involved and stuff, the time to do that versus just paying the premium, it works out to be almost the same if you can get a good price. I spray painted SATA cables for a white build a few weeks ago. They actually came out pretty decent. The whole cable, or just like the connector, I feel like the cable, wouldn't the flexibility of the cable cause it to eventually crack very easily? Are you still going to build a NAS? Yes, I am. Okay, so let's talk about that a little bit, and we'll get back to the graphics card talk. Let me show you my pickup. There will be a video on this. This was a good pickup. Very good pickup. All right. I got the drives in hand. So, these drives are Toshiba Enterprise drives. MG07. 12 terabytes a piece. So I got 5 of them. I'm not going to tell you the price I got them for because you have to watch the video for that. But I bought 5 of them out of the 9 that the guy had. Thinking back, I probably should have bought more because of the price I was able to get these at. And these all have good hard drive health. The hours are very reasonable for... I'm not going to tell you the exact amount of hours on them, but it's less than 50,000 hours on them. But you have to wait for the video to see that. But yeah, so I got the drives, which was the most important part. Everything else is kind of easy to get. Like, I do have a case coming. I won't let you guys know the case just yet, because there's like a few popular options for cases that people usually use for like there's like storage servers and stuff like that. But I found one that supports a lot of drives. I'll just say that. If I told you the amount, you'll probably be able to guess the case. And then the rest of the hardware, I'm just going to use... Actually, no. I think I need to pick up... I think I'm going with 12th gen... 12th or 13th gen Intel, depending on the... I'm going to just buy like a used CPU. And I'm going Intel because I want to just use integrated graphics. I don't want to have to plug in a graphics card and, you know... potentially plug in power cables to that, or get some low profile cable-free graphics card for a premium. Is like just get a Intel chip with integrated graphics and be done with it. Low power consumption, less moving parts, etc. And then yeah, so I don't know what I don't know when the rest of the parts are gonna come in because I'm slowly looking for deals and ordering them. But I already have the RAM on hand. I have SSD on hand, and then I think I'm going unraid. Yeah, we're going unraid because I want to mix and match drive sizes. I want to be able to just slot in whatever random drive size I want and just add it to the storage pool and not have to worry about anything. So yeah. Don't drop them exactly. Oh, you use paint specific for flexible things. I've used it for plastic before. What was the paint called, Chris? The XE, well, I'm getting the cheaper stuff. What was it? UHD 730, I believe, is what most of the Intel 12th and 13th gen. And I think I'm gonna get an i3. I can always upgrade it in the future, but I'm trying to like, especially with how much I spent on the drives, they were a good deal, but even a good deal when you're buying 5 12 terabyte hard drives, it adds up really quickly. So I think I'm gonna start off with like an i3 LGA 1700 CPU, and then if I ever felt like I needed more, I could pop in something better. Or maybe if I upgrade my system, I can pop in my 12700K down the road. But that's like later. I want the start of it to be pretty like, you know, pretty entry level stuff. What do you think about getting an RX 580 currently? If you can get one for like 40 or 50 bucks, it gives you so much entertainment and enjoyment for the price. Like, what other graphics card is going to be 50 bucks or less? Like, the RX 580 is the card to get. Unless you get some ungodly deal on, like, a 1070 or even, I guess, a 1060 6GB isn't as bad. But, yeah. I have a few Western Digital Red NAS drives sitting here from a friend's estate. I also got old Dell servers and server racks. Nice. Lots of SAS drive. Not nice from your friend's estate if, you know, if it was from like that. But what size are the drives? I rebuilt my NAS last year. Yeah, I mean, as I gather the parts and get the build up, I'm very curious to talk about it more on stream. But, you ever gone back to that used parts place? So, crazily enough, I was planning on going back, but a couple of months after that I made the video, he left. He actually posted a comment. Let me see if I can find it. Nerd on a budget. Yeah, he actually left a comment. The Ghost Hunter. He was so cool. I wanted to go back and make a video with him. But, let me see where it was. Oh, here it is. Yeah, he actually left a comment on the video. Don was his name. Don. Let me see where it is. Oh, here it is. Yeah. So he left a comment, and this was 3 months ago. Hey, good people, just an update for you. I really appreciate your comments. Unfortunately, the owner of Valerie let me go this morning, so I'm no longer managing the store. So he doesn't work there anymore. The guy there now has very limited knowledge of hardware, etc. Anyways, I'm going to go to concentrate on building both my YouTube channels. So yeah, his channel is like, because he's like a paranormal, what do you call it? Like, I guess investigator kind of. Yeah, that's what like he does. And he's apparently been doing this for a really long time. It was just crazy to meet him while shopping for PC parts in this video. So unfortunately, he's not there anymore. And I don't know if it was, you know, in terms of like being let go because of cost cutting and stuff like that, and then reducing numbers of employees or whatever. But yeah, he's not there anymore. I do want to go back, but then when I go back, it's gonna be with a new person there, so we'll see how they handle me wanting to record stuff. But I haven't had a chance to go back yet. Do you believe in ghosts? I would say my belief in them is indifferent. Ghosts, maybe not so much in the, like, with regards to what we see in movies and things like that, but in terms of spirits and things that we cannot see around us, I would probably lean towards not believing in them, because I'm a very, like, science and math based person. So like, I like proof. I like numbers and seeing things in front of me, right? And I personally have never seen it, and then at least in person. If you watch any of these ghost hunting shows though, you'll see that like the lights flicker and like something moved when nobody was there. But I mean, how much of that can be faked, right? So I would personally like to see it for myself. Though I do have lots of nightmares and see things in the middle of the night when I'm half awake. Though I think that's just me being paranoid. When I'm fully awake in conscience, I have not seen a ghost or spirit. Let's just say that. But I often have night terrors, and wake up my wife in bed. Like, because, you know, when you're half awake and the room is really dark and you look in the corner and your eyes, it has like those black splotches, because your eyes are adjusting to the dark. But sometimes it looks like it could be a figure in the corner of the room. I see that a lot. But yeah. But no, like, yeah, I don't know if I believe in Casper ghosts. Ghosting is real, indeed. If you have a certain type of monitor, ghosting could be real. I've seen one more than once in parents' 1800 home. Okay, it's a weird thing though, right? I feel like I would say I lean towards I don't believe in ghosts and spirits. But if you took me to like some abandoned house in the middle of nowhere at 1 a.m. in the morning and left me there by myself to go into the basement and cellar, I would be very spooked. And why would I be spooked unless I actually believed in ghosts or like spirits and like stuff like that? So yeah, I don't know. Take that for what you will. Yo, what up, Jack Pepper? Is that a... Yes, the mic is on my glasses. So the mic is on my glasses. Yeah, I wear the mic on my glasses because whenever I use this mic and then I go to this side of the room, it gets quiet. But now if I go back to this side of the room, the volume of my voice does not change no matter where I go relative to my desk setup, right? So that's why I wear the mic in my videos as well, because when I used to put a static mic boom, sometimes I like turn and like when I'm looking at the PC, the audio levels are much more inconsistent versus being in the same spot the entire time when I'm talking. So if you've ever wondered why, that is why I wear the mic on the glasses for videos and streams. Funny story regarding ghost stuff. Peter, formerly from EVJ, admired me, came to your house to do the PC build stream for him. He worked on TV before, putting ghosts in those kinds of shows. You mean in the paranormal, supposedly real shows? I move away from the mic to breathe in. I like the... What was his name again? Chocolate Rain? Tazon Day. I like the Tazon Day reference. Which mic is it? It's the DJI mic 2. So it comes in this box. And it comes with a receiver, which is right here. So it comes with a receiver and then two mics in case you have like another person. Ooh. This one works too. They both work at the same time. But yeah. And it has a rechargeable battery case that... Melissa bought me this for Christmas because I had been looking at it for like over a year and a half. But I was too cheap to get it for myself. And then she ended up getting it for me for Christmas. So yeah, I think this is the most common mic you will see when you see people wearing the mics on their shirts and stuff like that in videos, wireless mics. This is one of the most common ones. This and the Rode mics but it's expensive, which is why I didn't want to buy it for myself. I think it's like 200 bucks. But yeah, my wife got it for me, so I love her. She's awesome. Why not mic on the shirt? So I've put my mic on the shirt before for a video, and what ended up happening was like the mic ended up inverting like this, and I didn't notice. I don't know how, but like with regards to movement, can you guys hear? Like, let's just say I'm moving, I'm like, oh, I'm just talking about stuff. Can you guys hear the ruffling of the shirt at all? Mic on the nose bridge. Let me see if I can do that. I could probably do it like this. Okay, I don't think this is gonna work, but I don't know. Just on the glasses, it's a lot easier. I just clip it to here, and when I put it on here, let me see. Like sometimes you see how it does that to the shirt. I guess you could constantly be adjusting it and stuff like that. But I'm usually wearing hoodies or like a coat. Like in my videos, I often wear hoodies, and with the hoodie, it's a lot looser. So when I've had it for meetup videos where I'm wearing the mic, it just straight up like points inwards. So it just is a lot easier for up here. On t-shirt, not the greatest, but you have something with the shirt. Yeah, if you have a collared shirt or like lapels or a pocket, yes, it definitely works better. Ghosts are afraid of Chuck Norris. Yep, he said all the paranormal shows are fake. Well, Team Swavy or Teams Wavy Motorsports. Yo guys, I wanted to say thank you for all the support in chat with Windows 11. Did you upgrade to Windows 11? I don't remember. Is this from a previous stream? I'm actually gonna make a video. I'm gonna make 2 videos for Windows 11 actually. So I'm gonna make a video where I take my drive and upgrade to Windows 11 using the built-in tool where it keeps your files and stuff. Because honestly, I don't think I've ever done that. Anytime I have jumped like from Windows XP to 7, from 7 to 10 or whatever, I always do a fresh wipe. I have no idea what it's actually like to go through the process of upgrading, how long that takes, and how many of your programs keeps their settings and things like that. So I wanted to make a video documenting that to show that, as well as just a general Windows 11 installation like I've made for Windows 10 a couple of times. So I was gonna do those 2 videos in the future when I upgrade my system to 11, because I'm due for that. I've been talking about that for a few months now. I just need to get it done. But now I can document it. I did it and it deleted everything? What do you mean by everything? Did you tell it to delete everything? I thought if you tell it to keep your programs and files, it keeps them. Anytime you do an OS upgrade, you always want to back up your stuff. Even if Windows tells you, and I think most of the time it does work out that it keeps the files and settings. But just in case something goes wrong, you want to back up your existing like files and programs. Or I'm gonna clone my existing drive just so I can have it as a backup, and then I'm gonna do it, because I'm afraid, yeah, it will mess up and do something wrong. No, I didn't, and it was all gone. Wow. See, so did you back up your stuff beforehand? Hopefully you did, because oh man, that sucks if you lost important stuff. Never trust Microsoft with your files. I would agree with that. So we will see, and obviously in my video I will give that disclaimer. Hello, I'm curious, what is your opinion on what would be the best RTX 5080 manufacturer? Honestly, have we heard of any cheap 5080s that are like you gotta avoid? My general opinion is the best graphics card of any model is either the cheapest one or the cheaper ones you could get. So maybe not get the most bottom of the line cheapest, which I don't know for the RTX 5080 which it is, but I tend to go for the entry level models. I'm not paying $200-300 premiums to get like a 5 to 10% performance increase. Sorry, I'm not. Even the worst RTX 5080 is still pretty good in the grand scheme of RTX 5080s, right? So I don't know what would be my opinions on the best ones, but I don't subscribe to the idea that anyone should be buying the best ones, because those usually run like ridiculously more money. Like there'll be like a 30, 40, 50% markup for the same GPU underneath, you know, the heatsink. Forced upgrade several old systems. Pretty smooth. Okay. I have to wipe my drive soon as I messed it up and I tried to clone one drive to another. The boot manager has 3 entries. Yeah, I've run into that situation in the past before. That is annoying. I forgot. I'm pretty sure there's a way to make it so that the other ones, you can at least set it to which one you want to default log into, or like run that timer down. But I don't remember exactly the steps to remove the other boot managers. Yeah, because every time you turn on your computer now, instead of going right into, you know, the drive you wanted to, right, it tells you to pick between the 3. So I totally experienced that in the past before. I felt like Windows 10 runs better on my PC, but had to upgrade to Windows 11 because it's time. Microsoft's pretty much forcing you. Yeah. You're right. You're right. The FE is the cheapest. I totally forgot about that because they supposedly go for MSRP. And they do. It's just they're not available. And Best Buy is the only place to get them. Did Micro Center have FEs? I don't know. But yeah, that's... FEs are... I like FEs. They might not have the strongest factory like overclocks applied to them. But they sure are priced well when they're available. I did it last night on the old i5-6500 that was unsupported. Rufus tool worked perfect. The only thing about unsupported Windows that I still need to look into more, but there's not much information about it because this is still kind of a new ongoing thing. Like, you could bypass the hardware requirements to install Windows 11 on older hardware. My biggest concern is how much of a vulnerability or like security risk are you putting yourself at as you continue to run Windows 11 with technically unsupported hardware? Like, are you more susceptible to malicious attacks and stuff because the older hardware doesn't have all the features required? And will there be future Windows 11 updates that could potentially give you trouble if the, you know, that bypass that you like not committed, but the bypass that you did becomes obsolete or whatever. So there's not many. I've tried looking on the internet for an answer to that, and nobody's really talking about that. So that would be my only concern about recommending for people to do the bypass thingy. If you use the wrong region ISO, you don't get the option to save files and programs. Example, if you use international English version to upgrade a US region, so it wipes everything. Yeah, I would assume that that Jack Pepper probably just used US to US though. I don't know. I mean, the fact that it gave Jack the option to keep the files and programs, then I would assume it was the same region, but I don't know. Nvidia dropped like 450 580 units with Doom bundles. Yeah, if you want Doom, you could save $70 plus tax. But I'm pretty sure those were all swiped up. And Nvidia, and they dropped them at Nvidia. Their drops for Founders Edition cards, haven't those been at MSRP? Yeah, 450 is not nearly enough to satisfy everyone. Staying on Windows 10 is probably safer than running 11 with unsupported hardware, in my honest opinion. Yeah, I honestly don't know. Like, there haven't been like almost any Reddit posts or anything talking about it, and any post that I have seen is just people speculating. No one can give concrete answers whether or not you'll be vulnerable to like security attacks and stuff like that. Is it time for Linux? Not for me personally, but for anyone who's, you know, curious about it, especially after that PewDiePie video, I definitely do need to check out. It's just, how do you guys choose the distro? And then people are like, oh no, try around, try multiple. I'm like, bro, how much time do you guys have in a day? I guess like, for me, that just seems like to truly try all the different distros out and get a good understanding of them. I don't have time for that. I would rather people recommend the best one for gaming. And I think for video editing, didn't PewDiePie complain that it doesn't work with Photoshop? Or does it not work with Adobe in general? Like with Premiere Pro and just everything? So that would be a huge problem for me. I would not be able to daily drive my main machine with any of the Linux distros if it's just not compatible with Adobe. Adobe is not on Linux. No, yeah, okay, so that doesn't work for me. It's never time for Linux for the average user, yeah. Can the community pirate Windows and make it infinitely active without telemetry and spyware with etc. with security updates? I honestly wouldn't be surprised if there was a custom version of Windows. People have made their own custom Windows OSs, but I feel like it's hard. I don't know. I would have a hard time trusting some random no-name who claims to have made their own Windows install with, like, you know, taking out all the bloat and stuff. Like, yeah, what if they snuck in something kind of malicious in there under the radar? When you try to update unsupported, it will still say unsupported, so you have to make another bypass USB. So you have to make a bypass USB for updates, or like you have to make another bypass and reinstall the Windows. And you basically need an AMD GPU for Linux. Yeah. So when is AMD going to encourage the 9070 XT to be priced at MSRP? They've already encouraged it, but encouraged it is not mandating or like forcing, right? Not really related to tech, but we're a PC gaming tech channel. But what is your favorite game of 2025 so far? What games have even released in 2025? What I haven't. The only game I bought this year is Assassin's Creed. Actually, I bought it last year, end of last year, with the Intel bundle. But Assassin's Creed Shadows. But let's see. 2025 PC. What even came out this year? It was gonna be GTA 6, even though it wasn't gonna be on PC. But where do you see where is the PC game releases? Like, how is this not just, you know how it usually lists all the games? But of the games that's released so far in 20... Oh, here we go. Alright, let's take a look at the list. Even though I haven't bought it, I could still have been hyped for it. Ooh, I like Ninja Gaiden, but I haven't picked this up yet. Of all the games on this list, has anything made me so... Oh, wait, no, I bought Monster Hunter Wilds. But I haven't put a ton of hours into that. So I bought Assassin's Creed Shadows and Monster Hunter Wilds this year. But was there anything else? There's Assassin's Creed. This 33 Immortals... Oh, no, not the Immortals. Never mind. I'm thinking of the other thing. Yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't... Right now, I'm doing my playthrough of Skyrim, the special edition. So, and that's a game that came out. Well, that version came out later, but it's based on Skyrim from 2011. But yeah, I'm not really actively playing the new games that I bought actually. So I bought Assassin's Creed Shadows and Monster Hunter Wilds, played them for a bit, but then I don't know, got sucked into Skyrim. So. Ninja Gaiden 2 as a potential pick is super basic again. Yeah, dude, Ninja Gaiden, I wish they still made newer versions of it because the action combat gameplay in it is so good. It is so fluid, running on walls, just like comboing and stuff like that. It feels really good. Like, people know IPs like God of War and Devil May Cry and stuff like that more. I feel like people sleep on Ninja Gaiden. It is a very fun, fast-paced game. Great combat and everything. But, yeah. I just wish they made like a new one. I don't think they made a new Ninja Gaiden. What's the latest one? Like 3 or something? Which came out like probably close to a decade ago. Oh, yeah. Oblivion Remaster recently released. I do want to eventually pick it up, but I think I'm going to pick it up on sale. Yeah, I don't want to pay the $50 price tag for it. for a remaster. Even though it's almost not even a remaster. It's kind of like a new game. Because they completely rebuilt it. But I think one of the biggest complaints that I saw, and I think it sucks that I've played it because I know someone who has it. So I borrowed their Steam account to hop in to do benchmarks and stuff like that because it's such a popular game. But like I wish they would have connected everything in the world. Like, example, when you escape the sewers and you go to the Imperial City, each of the like squares or the town squares, each of the sections of the Imperial City has a loading screen. Like, why couldn't they just make that a single one like map or world? Like, why did they have to have the exact same loading screens for each individual building and for each individual like zone within the city still? So I think that was a lot of people's complaints, and to me that kind of sucks. If you're gonna remake a game almost from the ground up and make it pretty much feel like a 2025 game, why keep all the little loading screens between the little segments? So that's kind of annoying, but I'm just gonna have to deal with that when I eventually play it. But yeah, Skyrim always takes up my time every year despite new releases, lol. I've been watching all the Skyrim mod list makers and stuff. I saw a couple of them that pretty much make Skyrim look like it's a game that came out in 2025. My issue with it, though, is I don't want to subscribe to a Nexus Mods account just so that I can auto-download like 3,000 mods. I'm looking for like under 20 mods to make Skyrim look like completely enhanced 2025 release graphics, you know? I don't care about changing the gameplay. I just want to run a mod list that pretty much is like makes it look like Oblivion Remastered. But I have not found that list yet. And I am so over all these modders, like, this is how you make Skyrim looks like this. It only requires 1,000 mods. Like, bro, I'm not gonna like download these mod installers and then have to get a Nexus Mods premium account and all that stuff. So, yeah. Do I like DLSS? I am okay with DLSS. Do I like it versus native? Well, obviously, if native could get me the same performance, like FPS numbers, without needing to turn on DLSS, everyone would prefer that. But I'm okay with DLSS. I particularly like it and FSR and XeSS for old hardware. For newer hardware, I guess if you're running it at like quality mode so that you're taking the least amount of, equivalent resolution reduction, I'm okay with it. But I don't like the trend we're going to where these game development studios seem to be like not optimizing their games as well so that DLSS is required. I think DLSS should never be a requirement to get any graphics card for a given resolution to like hit a minimum of 60 FPS. Like if you're looking at a card that's like $500 to $600 and you're playing some game at 1440p, because for that price, that's the resolution that's appropriate, I don't think you should have to run DLSS or FSR to hit a bare minimum 60 FPS. And there are games where you have to do that, or there are games where they only default you have to run some kind of upscaling, and there's no way to really turn it off. So in that aspect, I don't like it. But overall, I'm cool with it. It's fine. Yes, and it is fine in casual games. Where you don't need the highest like FPS and stuff like that. One of my friends recommended a 120 gigabyte mod pack for Skyrim Special Edition. I wish that... Is there a place to download all the mods in like a zip file? Because I will do that. My issue is to download the mods from Nexus Mods, like hundreds to thousands of them. If you don't have premium, you just can't do it automatically. And no way I'm manually clicking that many mods. Have you tried Lies of P? It's a fun game. I have not tried Lies of P. I've heard of it. I know about it. But I have not tried it. That's a game that, leading up to it, I thought there was more hype behind it, but I'd never hear of anyone talking about Lies of P, like, after it released. It seemed like there was excitement for it until it released, and then no one talked about it. How has the B580 been for you? It's been good. Again, like, I showed the performance that it gave me in Cyberpunk, which I was playing up till recently. And now that I'm playing Skyrim, my goodness. First of all, Skyrim is 60 FPS capped. And if you uncap it and get much higher FPS, it messes with, like, the physics of the game. Because the way that it was programmed at the time, it does not like running at, like, 200 FPS. But, yeah, so right now I'm just mainly playing Skyrim, and it's such an easy game to run. So the B580 does fine for my ultra wide. How many push-ups can you do in a row right now? Honestly, probably not that many. Maybe... Do we test this right now? This is gonna be sad, because if I do this right now, I'm not gonna be able to do a lot. And I will expose myself for being very lazy and unfit at the moment. But I want to see... oh my god, yes. Yeah, do it. At least 20, yes. Oh my goodness. Are we actually going to do push-ups here? And if I do it, I'm going to do it in like good form. I need to decompress after intense gaming. A couple of games. Like, I saw the triceps definition, so I had to ask. If I pushed it right now, maybe like 25 or 30. And that's like, going all the way down and then going all the way up. So none of this like half form stuff. But I have not like worked out and lifted weights for a long time. Like a really long time. I don't think I've been on a regular workout schedule for over a year at this point. It's bad. Gym bro on a budget. Can you hit a... What is a boogie? I don't need... What? I feel like I'm getting old now. What's a boogie? Is the RX 5700 XT a good budget card? It is. The issue is the price of it, because of its popularity in like the last year, has gone up. So it's not as affordable as it was previously. RX, like, I was picking them up for like 120, 130 bucks. I picked up a few of them. But now, let's see. Yeah, so this one's 150 plus shipping. That makes it like 170 for me. This one's 160 plus tax is again 170. Yeah, so they're a little bit pricey. And these cards don't have ray tracing capabilities. It was 6000 series that first got it. So between this and a similarly priced 6600 XT, which I've seen in my local area go for like 170-ish, I would rather pick up a 6600 XT. But if you don't have that available, like I would say, but like at around 140, these are a pretty good deal. But this plus tax makes it kind of harder to get. Yes, I remember my first build because I have the Newegg invoice of it. I've shared it before. It was an Intel E8400 with a G... Oh, I got my card actually. I recently pulled it out of storage. Or did I didn't show it last stream, did I? Where is it? Where is it? Can you guys still hear me? Hopefully you guys can still hear me. As I'm over here looking for... Oh! I just saw this thing. Where did it go? Ah, here it is. Yeah, because I don't think I brought this down before. So I told you guys in previous streams and even some videos before. My first graphics card. I think last week or the week before I pulled up a picture of this. Like online. Oh my god, look at that. So this is the actual graphics card I bought. What year was this? 2010? Whatever year this was relevant. I need to look. I think it was around 2010. I built this my junior year of college. But this is the actual original card. So I never sold it. I gave it to my brother, or I loaned it to him to use, and then he eventually gave it back to me. Yeah, it is an EVGA. How many gigs of RAM was this? 1 gig. So you can see on the label right there. It's kind of, it says 01G. So this is the 1 gig card. I forgot how high a VRAM these cards went to. There was variants that had like, I think 768 megabytes of VRAM, but there was multiple variations of it. But yeah, this is the original card. I'm so glad I kept it because, you know, your first build. I don't have the CPU or anything else from the build at the time, but I still have this. And man, this is when, this is a plastic backplate, you know. I don't remember if there were cards with metal at the time. I don't think so. But yeah, this one had a plastic black backplate. And look at the I/O on this. So you've got S-Video and 2 DVI. So no VGA and no HDMI, no DisplayPort. But yeah, I want to make a video with this at some point in the future. But this was the first graphics card for my first build that I ever did. But not for my first computer or laptop ever. I had been PC gaming for before this. But this is when I could afford my first DIY PC build. Is just DVI weird for a card at the time? I'm trying to think back. Most cards at that time and even beyond that had at least like 1 DVI, 1 VGA, and then I don't remember when S-Video got phased out, but yeah, looking at that, I don't know, maybe it's because it was a higher end card that they just threw DVIs, assuming that people were buying that were gonna have the better connector at the time. I almost had the exact the same card. It was a 285 though, back when the high-end cards ran for 500. Dude, let me see if I can bring this up. I'll show you guys the receipt, because I still have the Newegg invoice, which is why I love Gmail. Let's see here. No, this is GTX 280. The 200 series was when they started the GTX lineup. Okay, so here we go. This is my first build, and I messed up. I messed up on it. And let's see if we can figure out why I messed up on it. Stream submissions, here we go. Okay, so we look at this. This was the first PC invoice. Oh, and this was 2009, June, the summer of me going into junior year of college. June 19th, 2009, I ordered these parts. So let's see. That card was 260 at the time, 1 gigabyte GTX 280, and then where's the it was E8400 Intel, and I only got 4 gigs of DDR. Was this DDR2 or DDR3? I don't recall. This brings back so many memories. I grew up with my dad's old tech and never strayed away from it. Good times. No. I messed up. So you can see the mess up in this, right? I bought an NVIDIA, or I bought an Intel CPU, an Intel motherboard. For some reason, I picked up this AMD fan. I think I just wasn't paying attention, and I wanted to get some aftermarket fan and not use the Intel one. But I didn't read specifically that this was an AMD fan. So I wasted $9. I don't think I ever ended up returning this thing. But the CPU is right here. It's the Intel E8400. I don't remember, what is it? Core 2 Duo? Yeah, C2D. Core 2 Duo. Yeah. Let's see, what else? And it was in the Antec 900. So my first case was in the legendary Antec 900. Look at the case price versus everything else. $100. When one of the top of the line graphics cards for the time was only 2.5 times more expensive than a PC case. What a time. What a time. Yeah, so the total build, and this was when Newegg didn't charge tax in the state of California, or in the state of Washington, because it was out of state. But, I mean, we're coming up on near a decade now since Newegg started charging tax in Washington. But for a long time, Newegg did not charge tax in the state of Washington. Technically, I think you were supposed to report it and pay the taxes, but nobody did that. Come on, let's be real. Who bought from Newegg sales tax free and then reported it and paid taxes after the fact? Anyone out there do that? I'm curious. If you did, let me know. Plead the fifth. W tax evasion. Yeah, I mean, at the time, I would say probably 99.9% of the people buying out of state from Newegg was tax evasioning. For legal purposes, of course I did. Seagate HDD, wow, budget. Yeah, oh, yeah, let's look at the rest of this. So, okay, remember, this was 2009. This was my first build. Before this, I had a gaming laptop, a Dell Inspiron, and before that, I had some pre-built from Costco that my mom bought us to use at home for use in high school and middle school. So, I just picked whatever power supply that I'm pretty sure I went to some forum, and maybe it was like the Tom's Hardware forum or whatever that existed at the time, and they were like, if you're getting these parts, you need at least this power supply. There was no PSU tier list. I don't know how much. I think Johnny Guru was probably around since then, but you know, I was very not knowledgeable, so I was like, all right, as long as I get the amount of wattages I need, then I'm good. So I'm pretty sure this was an F tier power supply. Like, I mean, at the time, 580 watts, $46. You can imagine, probably not the best power supply. You should rebuild it. I would watch. It would be so expensive to get these particular parts. Not the CPU, but motherboard might be expensive. And to try to find like this exact power supply, like, let's see if we can find it right now. Give me a second. So what is this power supply? CompuCase Ace 580 UB. CompuCase Ace 580 UB power supply. Heck, Ace, here it is. Ace 580 UB. This was probably it. I mean, okay, if I wanted to buy this on eBay right now, I would have to pay, oh my god. This is in GBP, so converted to dollars, and then that shipping fee. If I built the exact PC with these components, Antec 900 too might be a hard find. I gave away an Antec 900 like not even a year ago, I think. I had one on hand and I just donated it because I was clearing up space. What else? A DVD burner discount. The World at War. I still have the... Oh, this is bringing back so much nostalgia. Give me a second. I was doing some cleaning up recently and I came across... Where you at? Where you at? Where you at? Come on. I know I put you up. Oh, yes. Yes. Ouch. I just hit my ankle. This CD case is from, I don't even know what year. Probably like 2004, 2005, around then. But this, which used to have music and audio CDs in it, I have just random, like, you know, just CDs from over the years. So here's Battlefield 2142, but specifically, oh, I got Dave Chappelle, For What It's Worth too. I got a Windows XP with the CD key right here. But this is what I was looking for. This, I don't remember if I ever activated this. Well, here's the code if you want to activate it, I guess. But Call of Duty World at War from this right here, when I built my first PC, it was a promo. Yeah, it was basically the included game with, I believe, yeah, the NVIDIA gift, Call of Duty. But I still have the original CD from it. But I don't remember if I didn't play this because at the time, I think I was more of playing Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare, and I never really was interested in this one. But yeah, any other old CDs I have in here? Dell Utilities and Drivers. I've got a Frozen Throne CD right here. Some other stuff. But yeah, I actually just came across this CD case, like, as I was cleaning, just this past weekend. And then, I don't know if I have anything else that's cool in here. Roxio Creator. Just a bunch of random stuff. Sapphire. Remember these mini discs compared to, like, so you got your Rosewell. Why would, oh, this was a CD-ROM driver. So drivers for your CD drive. But remember these mini discs? And then sometimes they were like, they had those straight edges on them. And then what, I think this was for my drivers for probably my 290X when I bought it. But yeah, I don't know, man. I'm just a hoarder, so I still keep all this stuff. Maybe it'll be valuable one day. Probably not. That's what all hoarders say. Danny, why didn't you wait for Nehalem? Let me see. What do you mean by that? Nehalem, the town of Oregon. Microarchitecture. Okay, that's what you mean. What year did this come out? It launched November 11, 2008. Let's see what processors were part of this. Probably because of the price. I mean, I don't know how much those CPUs were going for, but I paid $160 for this E8400 at the time. And again, I had no clue what I was doing, except for putting together a list that was compatible, except for this AMD fan. But I've come a long way since then. Warsome Frizz? I probably butchered your name. First time being on the Nerd Budget live stream. How you doing? I'm doing good. How are you doing? Welcome to the stream. He's like a kid in the candy shop. Yeah. I don't know why mini discs really pissed me off. Okay, we gotta find a picture of those mini discs. Mini discs with straight edges. Y'all remember the mini CD discs? These things. That's what I'm talking about. What was up with these? Was this just a cost-saving measures? Because I had a mini one here in the CD case, but I remember they came like with these straight edges on them. I always thought they were interesting. I wish I still had one on hand just to have physically as like a keepsake. But any of the ones I probably got over the years, I didn't, have the forethought to keep them. But yep, the cut off mini CD-ROMs. Very interesting times. I have a box of older games in my closet. Doom, Doom 2, Duke Nukem. Yeah, I mean, all that. There's probably millions of copies of them, like, floating around on the internet and stuff. But it's just, they're collector's items. Yo, bro, I have a collector's item channel, and I just realized I have the first edition Metal Gear Solid copy. Did they even mark them as first edition, or do you mean non-greatest hits version? Sleepy Collector. Nice. First edition Metal Gear Solid. I mainly played Metal Gear Solid 2. But let me see. Wait. Oh, Metal Gear Solid. What am I... I'm thinking Twisted Metal. Do you mean the first edition as in like the first CD? Because didn't they change the... Wait, first edition Metal Gear Solid? This is Metal Gear, not Metal Gear Solid. First Metal Gear Solid was on PlayStation, right? But did they have multiple covers for it? Did they even have a greatest hits? The bane of any game collector's collection, getting a greatest hits version, because that means it wasn't one of the originals and it was discounted. Remember when greatest hits for $20 for the longest time was an amazing time in console gaming history. I don't know if greatest hits is still a thing in consoles and how much it costs, but man, we're going down memory lane right now. Oh, my chest. Do you remember any mistakes building? Yes. My first PC? No. My first PC upgrade, I told a story about it. It's on a YouTube video that's like 7 years old now. But yes, I will retell it again because we always have new people coming to the stream. Floppy power connector. 4-pin. Power supplies don't have these anymore, or at least modern power supplies don't have them anymore. Or at least modern power supplies that are like decently quality. But there used to be this connector to power up your floppy, your floppy drive. So you can stick floppy disks into. And would you look at that? That looks very similar to a 4-pin PWM fan connector, doesn't it? Except for the fans, the power is going into. So from the motherboard, it feeds power into the fan. This connector, the power goes the opposite direction. It goes from your power supply into whatever it's plugged into. So I was stupid when I upgraded from this system that we had just been looking at. I got a new motherboard, and I think I might have got a new power supply for some reason. This was like a couple years later, and I was like, let's just start. I think I remember how to build this. Let's start plugging things in. And I got to this connector, and I was like, oh, this looks like a fan connector. I plugged this into the motherboard 4-pin fan header, and because the power is going the opposite direction as it was intended, it fried my motherboard and graphics card. That is, I think, the greatest PC building mistake I have ever made. Yeah, but at the time, you know, it worked out to be like maybe, because I had like a sub $200 graphics card at that point, because I had switched over to an AMD mid-range card that was like 180 or something, and then the motherboard's probably like 100 something. So like it wasn't a crazy expensive mistake that cost me like the whole build, but it was like a few $100s of a mistake. Does it make sense? Different size? No, it fits. You can go try. Find this connector on a power supply and plug it into the 4-pin. It fits. It's not way bigger. This spacing on the it goes in. It might be a little bit bigger, but it's not like I didn't have to like force it in, at least to my memory. I don't know if I have any power supplies on hand, and to be able to do this, I could show it without ruining it, because as long as you don't power it on. But no, it fits. I know from experience. Better than drilling holes in your motherboard and killing it like Jay's 2 cents did. I don't remember that story from Jay. Why did he drill holes in his motherboard? I screwed the motherboard down too tight and cracked the board. Ooh. Dang. I also got SOCOM with the special mag that came with it. Man, I love SOCOM. Was one of the first games I demoed at Electronic Boutique, or whatever it was called before GameStop. And I remember specifically, I was blown away at a third-person shooter that used both the analog joysticks, one to move around and one to aim. I remember specifically with SOCOM, people were kind of getting used to the dual analog, one to look, one to move. And then, you know, Halo also introduced people to that controller scheme. But yeah, SOCOM for its time, such a cool game. Our old mistakes building back in the day was putting the floppy power on only 3 pins of the drive, and it blows the drive. Oh, okay, so that you're putting this one on but not correctly. Yeah, by the time I started building, I don't think people were putting floppy drives in their systems at that point. Most of the, like, pretty much everything has gone to USB and optical drives at that point. He drilled holes where other mobile sockets had been through holes for cooler mounting, thinking it would be safe. Huh. I've never heard that story from Jay. Oh man, we are 2 hours into stream now. Okay. Let's see. Oh, before we go, you guys talked about the B770 leak rumor. I don't know. I did want to bring this up. Leak. Oh, 2 days ago. So this is new news. Leaked shipping manifest suggests Intel is already finalizing the B770 for release in 2025. I'm skeptical at how well this is going to perform. Give me 1 second. Let's see if I could pull a power supply right now. Come on. Have the connector. Have the connector. Where are you? Nope, I do not have any power supplies old enough. I'll see if I can find it for the next stream. Yeah, it would have to be an older one or just like a crappy one that is, for some reason, the company's still using it. But, okay, Intel reportedly set to launch, okay, intended to compete in the mid to high end segment. I don't believe it. No way. Mid to high end? I would think solidly mid. I don't see even mid high, really. Like, dude, just because the B580 did really well, if you think about the performance difference between these cards, at least from their Alchemist lineup, this next card coming out would be in the, so 250, if we're using that as the reference, it's gonna be like 400 to 500 bucks if I had to guess. There's no, I don't see them putting this big of a gap in it. Unless they do like a B750 to fill it a little bit, but I don't know. B770 is going to put the 5060 Ti to shame if it gets released. Well, it could put it to shame all at once. It also has to be available. Like, the fact that people still can't get B580s for really for under 300 bucks is kind of telling of the situation. Even though it looks like right now you can get them for around 300 and like 310-ish. Okay, nothing on, rumored to become 20, okay, core count 16 gigs of memory, 256-bit memory bus. So the B570, B580, yep, well received. Still facing challenges in competing with main obstacles, optimizing its drivers. How are they not even talking about the availability of them? Where y'all think the B770 lines up exactly? Let's go to the tech power up. And we'll look at the B580. So if we look at the B580, and that is considered 100% at 200 supposed $50, so 150%. I think it'll land, just based on my scientifically wild ass guess, my swag at it, I think it lands around here. So yeah, I think it'll beat the 5060 Ti. I think it'll be 30 to 40% more powerful. So around right here. I don't see them coming out with, and these cards right now are like valued at $500-ish dollars. Maybe not the 6800. That's kind of a like less popular card, but in terms of like the super mainstream cards, like the 6800 XT, 4070, they're going prices. I mean, you can't get them brand new. The 6800 XT, you can get the 7800 XT for like 550, 500, 550. But yeah, like I don't think they're gonna make a card that's gonna be over 500 bucks. And if that's the case, I see them competing with cards around that price range. 4070s you can't even get because they're not available unless they're scalped by third parties. So yeah, I'm thinking it lands maybe a little shy of these two cards, if I had to guess. And I'm like, are they really gonna sell a card that's straight up double the performance and or double the price of the B580? I'm having a hard time seeing it. But I think 400 to 450 seems more reasonable with an uplift around here. It's not going to scale linearly. Like, it's not going to be a card that performs double the B580 at double the price. That's just not how things work. As you go up, the price per dollar usually drops. Or the performance per dollar. Any card will put the 5060 Ti to shame. Yeah, the 5060 Ti, it's an interesting one because at MSRP, the 16GB model isn't bad considering anything else, like the 7700 XT, 6800, 4070, 6800 XT. In that ballpark, you're not getting any of those other cards at 429, right? But that's at MSRP. If you have to find an MSRP for it to be a good value, so that it can compete with these cards at the same price. Bro, you literally haven't aged at all. Did you go back and check out my oldest videos? Let me see. Do y'all think I've aged? So we got the rock climbing stuff. My very first build video ever. Hey, Gordon Ramsay. Bro, I have not aged at all. I could play this one. Oh god, this is such a cringe video. But, alright. That was me making a video on a Logitech C920 webcam. Oh my god, this is so cringy. I can't. But, alright. Versus, this was 2016. I think, if anything, I just have more wrinkles in my forehead. A little bit more wrinkles when I open my eyes all the way. But I still have those longboards. Dang, bro has a time machine. If you guys haven't watched my oldest videos, it's an interesting watch. I can't because to me it's very cringy. So it's difficult for me to watch it, but they're very easy to find. You just go here, type oldest. There's some of my rock climbing stuff. But yeah, like some of the oldest stuff, I mean, I made videos on RC helicopters. Like, what was I thinking at the time? I was just throwing anything at the wall, making any content I could at the time. RC helicopters, Valentine's Day, what was this content back then? But, yeah. If you guys are looking for stuff to watch, feel free to check all that stuff out. Watch this video after 5 years. I think I've leveled up. I can go back and watch videos from like 2018, 2019 and not be as cringed out. I definitely, the first couple of years of YouTube, I was, you know, not comfortable with the camera at all and still learning everything. So yeah, I think after a while, I kind of got the hang of it. My body has aged, but my nerdiness is in full force. Yeah. About to take a bubble bath and watch your old videos, says Design Silence. Yo, I'm trying to play GTA 6, but not in the mood to pay double the price to Rockstar. So if I have a 5090, yes? Bro, if you have a 5090, you're gonna... GTA 6 is gonna run on much less powerful cards than the 5090 whenever the heck it comes out, so you'll be fine. 2016 me versus 2025 me is not as kind as your magic non-aging lol. I know, because I have checked out your older videos, Chris. And the biggest thing I've noticed was the sideburns. You kept them sideburns back then, man. I made you 2 knob songs. What's a knob song versus a knob song? Where can I send them to you? You can, well, you can send them to the official email address. Which, do I put it on here? Yes, I do. So you can send it to the official email address here. Or you can drop it in the Discord channel if you're ballsy enough to have it out in the wild for everybody to see. But yeah. Also maybe like 30-ish pounds. It will come to PC soon. I can wait more 2 years, but I'm not paying for GTA 6 2 times. Yeah, I can wait more I don't want to wait 2 years. Hopefully it's not 2 years. Hopefully it's please, Rockstar, like concurrent release, or at least like maybe a quarter off, like 3 months. Please don't make us wait over a year. Damon says, y'all know any creators who put out good Premiere tutorial tips? Not at the top of my head. Anytime I need to learn something for Premiere, I just Google Premiere and then what I want to do. But specifically, I don't watch enough Premiere Pro tutorials to like have creators that I go to every single time. Or you have to buy a PS5 just to... Yeah, I'm not doing that again. I bought a PS3 only... Like, I bought the GTA 5 PS3 launch. Let me see if I can find it. I think I bought it on Amazon. But that was the only time I've ever bought a console specifically for a game. It's PlayStation. Where did I buy this thing? Huh. I must have got it at Best Buy or something. Or I wonder if I got it at Game... Did I buy this thing at GameStop? Let's see. But yeah, I've only ever done that one time because GTA just has that hold on me. But I cannot find... I must have bought it in store. I thought I bought it online. Let me see. Let me see. Yeah, I cannot find it. Nope, can't find it. I must have bought it. Whatever store I went to, I physically bought it in person. The GTA specific bundle. I'm double dipping GTA 6 on PS5 Pro and PC. I'm gonna be jealous of the people who are gonna get it on console first. Sony is just milking PS5 Pro. I don't even think it's a benefit. I don't know enough about PS5s and the different versions to comment on that. Knobs are the big orcs in Warhammer. Oh, okay, got it. GTA 6 is going to be optimized for current console. I hope PC version released at the same time. We will see. Rockstar gonna milk games for console first. Us PC guys have to wait. Yeah. I'm gonna buy a PS5 Pro just for GTA 6. I kind of hate... Like, I remember specifically having to get used to only doing things on a controller. I guess you could have plugged in a... You could plug in a keyboard to a PS3, I believe. But still, like, when I'm gaming, to only have a controller for mostly everything... But I'm just too used to, when I'm gaming, being able to have multi-monitors, to be able to, like, put music on in the background, be in Discord, and, you know, like, that's one of the things that is not talked about when people compare, like, PC gaming versus console. They're always like, you could just get a console for cheaper, but it's like, no, like, I can be doing other things in the background. I can have music play, and I know you could play music on a PS or a console while you're gaming, but it's not the same as just alt-tabbing into whatever music player that you have going on, like, you know, or just having a YouTube video or a movie on the side. It's just a different experience that's, like, hard to convince someone who's so set in their ways that, like, console is just cheaper than, and, like, you know, more simple than PCs. It is true, but it's just, even if console had as good of graphics as PCs, to me, the experience of doing everything on a controller versus, like, mouse and keyboard with a mix of controller easily, it's just, to me, the superior experience, personally. Console struggling to hit 30 FPS. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see with, because console, they struggled when Cyberpunk came out, and didn't they have to, like, issue refunds? Like, Cyberpunk was a difficult game to run on consoles, And I think, what is it, the PS, because it came out on what, PS4 and PS4 Pro or whatever, right? But then like the PS4 version just like performed like dog water, if I'm remembering correctly. Or was it the PS4 versus the PS5 that the performance was huge difference? So yeah, we'll have to see. But I'm sure people are going to be desperate to play it on whatever lowest end console that they can, because it's, you know, cost efficient. True, I can't game without running a compiler on my second monitor. PC is becoming a bigger and bigger demographic. They're going to have to start releasing PC day one sooner than later. They make it on PC. How is it not ready for PC anyways? You're preaching to the choir, man. I agree. Was it announced that GTA is going to be released on console first? So they did specifically say during the first trailer they released, coming to PlayStation and Xbox, and they did not include PC on there. So I think it's pretty clear what their intentions are. Am I the only person that's not excited for GTA 6 because they keep pushing it back? I understand the frustration with that, but I can almost guarantee you when we're a month away from the actual release though, your excitement will be back. But yeah, at this point, we're a year out from console, more than a year out on PC. I can see the excitement for people dying down, for sure. It says that on the newest trailer, the second one, there's no PC, yeah. I'm not excited for it in general. I played a little GTA, but never really got into GTA games since Vice City. I don't know what it is about. Again, me specifically, I'm an open worlds games type of person. So I just get excited for a lot of different open world games. Like I mentioned in the my latest build video, right? Like World of Warcraft, Grand Theft Auto. I'm playing Skyrim recently. I'm playing Cyberpunk. All open world games where you can kind of do whatever the heck you want and aren't like following a guided path. And that probably stemmed from when I started playing like games on Super Nintendo and like PlayStation and stuff, like Final Fantasy VII, Chrono Trigger, games like that. Those are all open world RPGs where like, if you wanted to, you could stray from the path you were supposed to go to and go visit this area or this town, which, you know, there was no limitations. And Pokemon. Pokemon was kind of a guided path, but also you could sometimes skip to, like, ahead a little bit. I can't react that fast with the controller. Mouse and keyboard is way faster to aim and whatnot. Yeah, no, that's true. Isn't that why I don't know what games have auto assist, or not auto assist, but like a little bit of aim assist for a controller. Is that a thing that people still argue about on the internet? How consoles require, or console games have aim assist, and then when you mix lobbies with PC and console gamers, the console gamers have that advantage of the aim assist. Is that still a thing that games do, modern games? It makes more money on console than PC, so Rockstar is going to delay it. Is that true? On console, I guess you don't have, you could sell digital versions. How is it going to make more money on console than PC? Yeah, I would be very curious to see the demographic or like player count, console versus PC, if they released at the same time. Yes, they argue about that in Call of Duty, how PC players use a controller because of the aim assist. Even the latest Call of Duties have aim assist for controller players. Interesting. I have seen many pro gamers scream by dying to a console gamer with aim assist. Lol. Okay, what's at 400C? Carmen the animal said, okay, it's at 400 Celsius. What should I do? Turn it off? If you have I didn't see any of your other previous messages, Carmen. But if you have any PC part at 400 degrees C, I don't know if that's true. Your sensors might be off. Because any major component would already have shut down by then. So I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, 400, that's like well beyond problematic temperatures. Yes, I did see Jay announced the green light for the next SoCal Tech Fair. And it's going to be expo level. I saw your comment on his video. So did anyone go to the SoCal Tech Fair? So Coalition Gaming Chris, who's in the channel right now, released a video today. He and his friends, and it looked like Olga was there too, went to the SoCal Tech Fair. No. Accidentally clicked on the wrong thing. But they went to probably the only other creator run like convention, I guess, exhibition, whatever you want to call it, because LTX would have been the other one, specifically for the PC hardware and PC gaming community. So Chris went to this, and some people have said it was underwhelming. Chris, being a content creator, was more understanding of it than other people that I've seen voice their opinions online. But it's kind of like similar to what LTX was, right? A bunch of PC gamers coming together, some PC hardware companies, events like motherboard stacking competitions and things like that. I was invited to go, but it just was not in the cards for what I have going on IRL right now. I think it would have been fun to go there to, potentially meet up with viewers. But did anyone in the chat go to this aside from Chris? Lazy Game Reviews went. I live right next to it. I couldn't go because of work. Is Nick AI? Does he eat floor tots? He does not eat floor tots. I would like to hit that up. So the thing about the AMD CPU swap is obviously they didn't have unlimited supply. Otherwise, you're going to have thousands of people wanting brand new CPUs in exchange for old ones. They had like 100 something, and apparently they all went pretty much instantly. People were lining up overnight for it. So yeah, the CPU swap thing, realistically, there's no way they could have supported giving away thousands of free CPUs. So they had to have a limit, and people were very upset that they weren't able to do the CPU swap. And I think that's kind of unreasonable. Like, yeah, that you shouldn't have the expectations of getting a free CPU unless, you went really early or got super lucky. But yeah, it looks like this is greenlit for next year. If it's going to be bigger, if it's going to be at a convention center, he wants like Linus and stuff to be there. He specifically said, because Jay released a video too. But I would hope to be able to go next year if it is going to be like a bigger event. And it works out for my schedule. So we'll see. Yeah, because LTX is I don't think it's canceled forever. You guys know the word indefinitely? I hate the word indefinitely. This word, because it can mean two separate things, is why I hate it. So LTX, I think they said it was put on hold indefinitely, right? When I personally hear the word indefinitely, I think of forever, right? Otherwise, it'll be temporarily. But yes, I understand indefinitely, undefined amount of time. But how could you have the definition for this word within the definition are two very separate, different things. You can use indefinitely to mean unlimited, which means forever, until the end of time, forever. Like, LTX is canceled indefinitely. Or it can mean an unspecified amount of time, which could mean for a month, a year. So it could mean short term too. It's just not defined. So I think forever and not defined are two completely different things, and I am so annoyed every time I hear someone says indefinitely, because it doesn't mean that it's like postponed forever, or if it's just postponed temporarily, just undefined. I watch boxing, and what happens in boxing is let me see if I can show. If you go to like Box Rec and you look at, I don't know, let's look at some random, nope, not Tyson Fury, but there's a lot of boxers who have been suspended indefinitely according, oh great, it's not going to show me, but yeah, a lot of, and I don't know if this is a thing in MMA too, but like they use the word indefinitely, and it always sounds like they're suspended forever, but it's not. They're just suspended for like a year or something. I don't know, I hate it. Definitions do matter. They will bring back LTX in a few years. I hope so. LTX, I mean, if we're gonna be honest, Linus being the biggest, you know, PC hardware channel out there, maybe not the most detailed one, but the biggest influence one, they're gonna be able to throw the biggest events. I would be happy if Gamers Nexus threw an event like this, but I don't know if they have the capacity to do so. And it would probably be something along the lines of what Jay just threw, which a lot of people were disappointed about, apparently. So, yeah, I think Linus is the only one who has, like, the buying power and size and name power to throw on the biggest event to, you know, be able to fit the most amount of our community in. You put too much faith in people Englishing, I know. But I just hate the word indefinitely. But I think that's what Linus used when he described LTX being canceled indefinitely, or on hold indefinitely. Oh, it can also mean no definition. I guess I'm not a native English speaker. I mean, yeah. I'm glad this was brought up this stream though, because this word has been annoying me for years. And I wanted to vent my frustration and get you guys on board too. Extreme Zone says, hey Nob, have you checked out Newegg Build Your Bundle online tool yet? I have not. I don't think I can check it out this time because I do have to end stream here in the next 5 to 10 minutes. But if we, let's see, Newegg Build Your Own Bundle. Build and save, like this one? Or Newegg Build Your Own Bundle. Build and save PC combo savings, combo builder, this one? Here, I'm gonna post this, and hopefully next week, if I don't get super distracted like I always do. Wait. Where's that Discord window? Hopefully we can take a look at it. Most of the time it's used as unspecified. I don't know. For some reason in my mind is always as it sounds like a word that means forever, but maybe I'm just dumb. Indefinitely is endless. I would have expected a few more than 100. That's a bummer. Yeah. The purpose is to cause confusion and interest. I should have said to Peachy, hey, we were in a video together. Thanks to Nob. Yeah, it would have been great to meet Peachy Tech in person as well. She's a cool creator. Yes, Canelo never loses. Canelo. Okay, I know some of you guys don't care about boxing. I'm sorry, but I watch, like, in terms of like my favorite sport to watch, it is boxing. Canelo, for his last, I would say since Bivol, all his fights have been so cherry picked that it wasn't even questionable. When I go to a Canelo fight, anything post the Bivol fight, it was like, all right, Canelo's gonna win. It's not even like the odds are, you know, in his favor. The betting odds, I'm not even like worried. So I'm not a fan of what he's been doing. He already has losses on his record, so why not take the risk? Why not take the Benavidez fight? But anyways, but this past weekend, we also had a very disappointing 3, like, very big, you know, boxing star power names. Ryan Garcia, Devin Haney, Teofimo Lopez. Some of the most boring fights for the lead up and being held in Times Square, New York. Disappointing fights all throughout the weekend, but then Naoya Inoue had a good fight, I guess, but not many people care about Japanese boxing. But anyways, sorry, had to get that out. Manny Pacquiao about to fight again? I saw that. That is not a good idea. I don't think Pacquiao coming back at his age, unless he's going to cherry pick easy fights. Like, if he's going to try to go for some of the top names, that's not a good idea. Dude, this sport, it has a toll on your brain. It has a toll on your body. You cannot... How old is Pacquiao now? He is 46 years old. I know Mayweather... When was... See, Mayweather age. Mayweather is 48, but he fought... What, McGregor was one of his... Aside from Logan Paul... Dang it. I can't see it because I looked at it too much. Record. But yeah, Floyd Mayweather fought into his kind of old age, but his last super competitive fight was like, Conor McGregor was 2017, yeah, and he's 48, so that's what, 8 years. So yeah, he fought when he was 40, and then 38, 37. Dude, I don't know. Just keep your legacy. Don't come back and get knocked out. Do you know how to jailbreak iPhones, Danny? You know what? It's funny. I jailbroke iPhones when I was using the 3G and 4, iPhone 4, back when those were relevant. But I have no idea what I mean, come on, that was over 10 years ago. I have no idea what the jailbreaking scene looks like now, how easy it is. Jailbreaking for the time was fun when I was using the iPhone, but it's kind of a pain because you can't update your phone. Otherwise, it undoes the jailbreak, and then you have to re-jailbreak. But then every time an update comes around, it takes a little bit for the jailbreak to come out. So while I had fun jailbreaking back in the, back then, I wouldn't want to jailbreak in this day and age. It just seems like too complicated and annoying. Do I box? No, I don't box. I do want to take up boxing. I do have a local boxing gym near me. I don't know how I can do that with my janky foot now. Like the extra, it's just, you gotta be quick on your feet. You gotta be able to pivot. My foot, I did have plans at the end of last year. I wanted to join that boxing gym until my foot pretty much gave out on me. So if my foot recovers, I don't know, man. Joining a boxing gym at the mid-30s, that seems... I better not get hit in the head too many times, otherwise I'm going to lose some brain cells. Skip Scott says, thoughts on 4090 PNY for 900 bucks. I got it on OfferUp. 4090 for 900, great deal. Really good price on a 4090. Nice pickup. People are selling those for like $1,600 still. You got a good pickup. You got it on OfferUp and it came with the cores and VRAM, it wasn't like stripped out, then you're good. Why aren't you into MMA and UFC? I rarely ever miss an event. It's weird, right? You would think that MMA is more exciting. I don't know, something about boxing. I think it's because with boxing, it's weird. I trained jiu-jitsu, or Brazilian jiu-jitsu, for like 3 or 4 years. And a little bit in college and then a little bit post-college. And you would think, oh, because you like that. The act of grappling is fun. Watching grappling to me is not fun. Have you seen like professional Brazilian jiu-jitsu bouts? Like, we're talking not MMA here. We're talking about just jiu-jitsu or no-gi grappling. I enjoy doing it, but watching it is so boring. And then you get the UFC, which, yes, there's striking, there's kicking, elbows, and everything. But there's also a decent amount of grappling. So, watching grappling to me isn't fun. I don't know. Like, it's weird because in boxing, you could equally have boring fights, like what we just saw this past weekend, where people are just being super defensive, they're not taking risks and stuff like that. But I think it's the build up to boxing and like the prize fighting that makes it exciting. When you finally get a fight like Canelo versus Bud Crawford, something like that people have been asking for 3 or 4 years. And then like Devin Haney versus Ryan Garcia, when that fight happened, Ryan Garcia versus Tank Davis, stuff like that. The excitement of those is what really gets me into boxing. I don't know. But I would agree with you. There are a lot of boring fights in between those as well. So, yeah. Yeah, that's boring and kind of weird. Two guys on top of each other. Yeah, I don't know. Like, again, I enjoy the act of, like, you know, Brazilian jiu-jitsu, like training it. It's fun. It's like wrestling with clothes on. Yeah. As a practitioner or as a past practitioner, like, I understand it, but it's just not my thing. You can still box train and never fight. It's fun. Yeah, it depends on if you want to get into sparring, which can be a little bit more dangerous depending on the gym and how safe they do it. But yeah. Cheaper to just beat your wife. Whoa. How'd you just get that dark, N2 Tech? What's going on here? Boxing just for cardio. You don't have to do matches. Yeah. I just wanted to do it for, like, to keep myself healthy and to do, like, light sparring and stuff like that. And just learning technique. I don't think it's worth getting hit in the head unless you're getting paid. Agreed. I would agree with you there. When's the next LAN party? Y'all should have boxing matches. I think within the LAN party group, I am probably the only person that enjoys watching, like, combat sports. At least to my knowledge, because we never talk about boxing or MMA. I never talk about that to any of my friends. Not many people in my life enjoy those things. MetaQuest boxing, exactly. Or what's that? Wii Fit boxing. Do you think 100 men can defeat a gorilla? Yes. 100 men is a lot of people. A lot of them are gonna probably get killed and get their skulls bashed in, and their limbs broken. But I mean, if everyone is going for the gorilla's eyes and like his nuts and like everything at the same time, gorillas are strong. I don't think they're 100 men strong. Sock'em boxing? Remember Sock'em boppers? Remember these things? Not cock'em boxers, Jesus. Good thing that didn't come up with anything bad. But Sock'em boppers, I remember having these when I was a kid. This was so fun. You could just like all out punch your sibling as hard as you wanted to. Especially back then when you had kid strength. I guess with an adult with these things, you might be able to do some damage. Because when these are fully inflated, there's a little bit of give to them. But you would also push pretty hard. But, or soccer, what? Weren't these called Sock'em boppers when we were kids? Sock'em boppers. What the heck? Did they change the name? Sock'em sword. Soccer bopper. Oh, formerly Sock'em boppers. Okay, I remember them correctly. Gorilla would get tired. Yes, it does not have unlimited energy. Exactly. A gorilla is like 10 times stronger than the strongest human or something. Yo, what's going on? What are we talking? We have gotten to the part of the stream where it's completely unhinged and we just talk about what a random stuff. But alright, I do gotta end this stream. So, look forward to a new video this weekend. I should be able to get it out in time. And then, hopefully, I can get the parts for the DIY home server up and running so I can get that video out somewhat soon as well. And I have like a bunch of videos I need to make. It's just, you know, they take time to make. I do everything myself. I script, I record, I edit, I release all myself. I don't have any help. I am looking for a new YouTube Shorts editor though. So if anyone is looking to make YouTube Shorts and make a easy, quick buck, I'm looking for someone to take the YouTube Shorts or to from the streams and to make YouTube Shorts similar to the ones that are on the channel here, where it's like we take these topics from the streams and then make them into little short segments. Because the previous person I had, Droptimus, he was doing really well, but then some real life stuff came up, so then he couldn't do it anymore. So like, yeah, I'm looking for a shorts editor. Basically take segments of the streams that could be cut down into like 60, 90 second segments and then I'll pay you $10 a short. Hopefully you can do them in like 15-20 minutes, and that works out to a pretty good wage per hour. I'll do it under the table too, so you don't have to pay taxes. Can you get AI to make them? No, I've tried the AI tools. They kind of suck. They are pretty bad. They're like sloppy, and they miss out on context clues and stuff. Yeah, they don't do a good job. The thing about the AI tools is you use them, and then you still have to go in and make manual adjustments. So it's just quicker to do it yourself from the beginning. So, but yeah, hit me up on the Discord or an email if you are interested and you have the skill set. Preferably if you work in Premiere Pro, because we got a back and forth on the files and stuff, so that I can like make minor comments and all that stuff. But yeah, that's gonna be it for tonight's stream though. I had fun. Hopefully you guys had fun too. So have a great rest of your week. Have a great weekend coming up. And I will see you all in the comments of the next video, shorts, or in next week's stream. So take it easy. Bye-bye.